What is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Dent Digest live show. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, Ryan?
What's up, Alex? How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. I'm busy. It's heating up over here.
Heating up. What's the temperature?
It is. Oh, I don't. It felt like 105 today. I didn't check.
That's hot.
It's hot. It's hot. It's over 100 now.
Do you wear long sleeves?
I do not. I need to.
I know, touching the belt moldings and the roof rails and,
Yeah.
you know.
So
they've got that PDR college thing going on today.
I know. I saw a couple clips of
that.
Oh
my gosh, those guys backing into that car with I think it was Matt Moore's truck.
Yeah.
Boy, let me tell you. But you know, crazy things here, man. The smoke is it's crazy. Everybody's eyes are bloodshot, and you see everybody wearing masks again. So you know, it's crazy times here right now. I mean, the good thing with us is I've got the AC blowing at the shop and trying to just keep it as close as we can, you know. So
has there been traffic coming through the shop with all that?
Oh yeah. Today, like even no, it was like, geez, I figured people would have stayed home, and it was busy, you know.
Wow.
It's been absolutely crazy. That's one of the reasons we haven't had a show in 2 weeks. You know, it's
right.
It's just been really hard to make it happen. So we've been doing what we can. We've been working crazy hours, and you know, just doing our thing. You know, it's at least trying.
Yeah.
You know,
it's better to be busy.
I'm really learning to try to keep some of these repairs longer. You know, telling people more than just one day, like, okay, it's going to be 2 days, or it's going to be 3 days, or hey, I need it for a couple days. So that's getting better for me. But besides that, man, you know, we're still getting some hail. So we're dealing with some of those hail cars and working through those, dealing with the body shops, man. It's so funny with the hail cars. You know, they just call me, but they're like, hey, I got a car with a couple dents in the roof and the hood. And I'm like, is it a hail car? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, okay. And you go write it, and it's like not bad, you know, it's like $2,500, $3,000, $4,000. And and I'm like, okay, well, you need to take this apart. And then you don't hear from them for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, hey, what's going on with that hail car? And they're like, oh, we haven't had time to take it apart. And I'm like, okay. And then everybody calls. We did that like 4 or 5 cars in a row, and everybody called the same week. And I'm like, you're number 4 in line, you know? So unless you want to bring it to me, we can do it at night. But no, man, things are great. You know, I'm learning to manage multiple people. You know, that's definitely a learning curve for me. Having a lot of moving parts and dealing with a lot of different personalities now is different. And, you know, realizing very early on that someone that you've brought in isn't going to work with your team.
Yeah.
How to deal with that. So it's been pretty cool for me. You know, it's been a learning experience, which I enjoy a little bit. It's frustrating as hell, but at the end of the day, I'm still learning. How about you? How's business on your end besides busy?
Yes, it's I'm mainly in wholesale. My Toyota store is like selling cars like crazy. 2 weekends ago, they sold 90 cars over the weekend, used cars, in one weekend. You know, I mean, it was wild. And then they buy more cars than that, trying to refill their lot because people are buying cars in that area.
So are they buying more used cars than new cars?
Oh yeah. Toyota, they can't get like most of the times they'll get a shipment of like 14 Highlanders or Tundras or whatever Toyota it is, and they're already sold. And maybe like I've seen a couple times where they have like 7 of those like Highlanders, right?
Yeah.
But then they sell so fast. It's a wild game right now. And you gotta, last month I think I had 2 days off. So
Hey,
That's hard.
it's a what's
I'm
it
young.
called? It's a equal medium. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's feast or famine, and we've all figured that out ourselves.
definitely.
Um, why do you think your Toyota store is doing better than most of the other stuff? Just their buying power?
I just feel like Toyota sells itself, but the
True.
way that store runs is like you go in there and you get your salesman, but you don't like that's the only guy you deal with for the whole thing, even finance, everything. So I think people really like that.
Oh, so he handles the financing and everything.
Oh yeah, you don't go into any finance office after you know how like that's not the best feeling. Every
Oh,
time
it's
I bought a
the
car, I go in there,
worst.
they try and upsell me on a dent warranty package, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then they keep trying to sell me.
It's I just bought a new car for the business and I went into finance and I sit down and I said, look, before we even get started, you're a salesman. I'm a salesman. You're not gonna sell me. I'm not gonna sell you. Just give me the
Yeah,
paperwork. I'm not buying a damn thing. So
yeah,
and he was like,
they're
there we go. I was in and out of finance in like 10 minutes. It was the best thing ever.
yeah, their um, logo is like Toyota one price, one person.
That's cool. That's a good
You know what
idea.
I mean? So I think I mean they kill it. You know, but
What's up,
what's
Manny?
up, Manny?
What's up, guys?
How
How
are
you
you?
doing?
So it's 6 o'clock here for me. It's the end of the day. This is the time where like cars get picked up, cars get dropped off. So the
It's
reason
okay.
why I'm running late.
It's okay.
Do you get a new camera?
No,
It
why?
looks
Do I
good.
just?
Different
It
light.
looks
I
it
just don't
looks
think his
good.
microphone's
Oh,
working.
I was gonna say. Oh wait.
But it's okay. We can hear you. That's all that matters. Now we can't hear you. No, no. I love it. Let's try it again. Log back on. I love that face. I wish I could have
I
screenshot
know.
that. That was great. We're just dent guys. We're just dent guys. So,
Yeah,
but you know,
I
it's
jinxed them.
it's hail everywhere, man. There's so much hail
Really,
around.
because when I was there, it like just hit.
Yeah. Not just here, just all over the country there's hail.
Yeah, what you were talking about last week. Hail car on a BMW at one of my stores in Scottsdale came in, and they said it was 3 dents, and it ended up being a whole hail car.
Can you hear us, Manny? I can't hear you.
Oh wait, there?
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. You know what happens? We had Alex here, and everything just went wild.
Messed it up. Messed it up.
How are you
So-
guys?
Good. How about yourself?
Good.
Doing good, man. Just like I said, just wrapped up my day. Got 2 cars. One car got dropped off. 2 cars got picked up. So
How's everything
Making
else? How's
money.
the family?
family's good. Just they both just finished school. But my 4-year-old is going to go to summer school. My 6-year-old was not recommended for summer school. So yeah, it's good. My 6-year-old is going to first grade. I'm just in the beginning of the school life, and my 4-year-old, she's going into kindergarten. So
Nice.
life is good, man. Healthy. I'm working. Shop is still open. Work is getting done. Couldn't complain.
That's good.
Other people have it worse than we do, and so I'm just grateful just for the little things, just for being here. So
Do you ever take things in life, right? You look at little things, right? We're always on the go. That's our business. We're on the go, 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 go. Get it while we can get it. And last night I get home, it's like 9:30, and I go in and see my kid. She kind of waits up for me when I get home before she goes to bed. I walk in, and I'm like, she like looks at me. She's got these puppy dog eyes. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I'm so disappointed. And I'm like, first thing I think in my head, I'm like, I'm the worst dad ever, right? Because we've been working crazy hours. And she's like, I'm so disappointed that we had our field trip got canceled today because of the smoke. And I'm only in 3rd grade one time. I was like, not if you get bad grades. But you know what I mean? You look at life sometimes, you're like, the little things, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's her biggest concern in life was her field trip that got canceled. So I try to put all things in perspective. You know, when you're having a bad day, somebody pisses you off, but you always just try to put it in perspective at that time. But that was just, for me, it was just like, I needed that, you know?
Right.
Take away from your problems, you know?
Exactly.
I heard the smoke was pretty bad in your side of town, so it's sorry to hear that.
It's horrible. Like, I mean, it's 2 football fields you can't see. It's pretty bad. It's the craziest thing. It's like the apocalypse. I came out this morning and I was like, went right in my truck. I was like, turn the AC on, recirculate, and just get to work because everything's running.
I know what that's like because when we get the fires like that get really close, it like just it makes it look like the end of the world or something.
Yeah,
just like it's wild. Yeah.
I felt like we were back in the middle of COVID because everybody's wearing masks and you know, and I'm like, man, I feel like we're back in time already, but it's like the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So
where I live,
go ahead.
We get these big haboobs that kind of look like that. Sometimes they'll be so bad you can't see your hand this far from your face.
What is a haboob?
It's a dust storm. They call them haboobs.
It's called a haboob?
And you'll see a huge cloud of dirt rolling over the whole valley. And like if you go out, like when I was in my early 20s, I went outside and me and my friends thought it was all cool. But then like you have dirt all in your nose, your ears, like probably got valley fever.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
Shout out to everyone watching.
We were talking about the college PDR event.
Oh, yeah, man.
Pretty good, man. The pictures were when he backed into that car, that Camry with Matt Moore's truck. I was like,
that's crazy. It looks like there's a lot of techs out too. I didn't think it was going to be that packed, but
looked like 40 people or something.
Yeah,
seriously. But yeah, that's a great event. I kind of wish I would have made it, but it's all right.
MT Vegas is confirmed. September.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're doing it. Come on, Alex, stepping into the ring or what?
I thought we were gonna be on the same team this year.
Ain't no team here.
The relay.
Come on.
The relay.
Oh, jeez.
I think I'm gonna do it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I want to do both. I'm
actually training my guy who's working with me to get ready to come out and compete. So like every job is like, oh, check it. I'm like, oh, well, this or that, I'm like, don't take it personal. I'm just trying to train you, get you ready for the competition.
That's a different game.
Yeah. So if you guys are thinking about going or just don't even think about it, just get your room, buy your ticket. Let's go. Let's do it. It's going to be a great time.
Well, let's get our guest on. Do you want to run into it a little bit, Alex? Just kind of give a little breakdown before we pull him on, how you know him.
Yeah. So my dad owned a body shop since before I was born. And he was the dent guy my dad used. We kind of started at the same time. I think he was like maybe a year ahead of me, but he was just natural at it. He used to be a body man and probably one of the best dent guys I've seen in Arizona. So no social media.
Yeah, he's the black sheep. He's the quiet man in the background.
Old school.
Let's get him on. Welcome, Felipe. He's muted.
How you doing?
He's muted.
Hey, Felipe.
What's up, Manny?
How are you?
How you doing?
Good.
Good to have you on. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
100%.
How was your day today? Busy day or?
Busy day, a little hot, but not too hot.
All right, man.
What's hot for you?
For me, I love the heat. When it's like 115, I love it.
150?
15.
Oh, 15.
Is it ever too hot that you're like, no, I'm going home?
Yeah, no. I love the heat.
Wow.
For me, it's like 117. I don't want to work. If it's over 115, I don't want to work.
Me either. I don't want to work, but I have to work. But I like it. I love it. I love it.
Wow. Felipe, so tell us, how long have you been in business for?
And PDR, like 14, 13 years.
Wow.
Wow.
And I love it.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background? What did you used to do before PDR, and how did you find out about Paintless Dent Repair?
Well, when I was in California, I was doing body work, and that was like when I was like 16 years.
Okay.
And then one guy came right there from his name is Chris. I don't know if he's doing still PDR because he went to Texas to do rock decoration, something like that.
Okay.
But when I saw him, I don't believe in dents. They can fix them like that. I don't believe that.
Because you were a body man, so
Exactly.
some body men don't like PDR.
I know. I was one of them.
And it's still today. Like there's
It's
still
still
some body
today.
guys are like, you're stealing from me.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that body men don't like PDR techs because you think that they're not fixing things correctly, or is it because they're doing it in an easier way?
Well, on my way to think is because when he was there, he did a dent, and it made me feel like bad. I said, how can fix it in minutes? It's already painted and it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like he make it so easy, and he left, and the car was done. It's done to go. and you know, body work is like a process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sand it and primer and get dry, and then it's a process. And when he get it test, it's done. It's it.
So what made you convert from a body guy to the PDR guy? You know, what was really like, okay, I'm going to try this.
Yeah, but when I saw him, I really like that. As soon as I saw him, I started practicing myself, practicing. In my way, I said, if I damage, it's gonna be paint, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
And I was getting paid per salary, so it doesn't matter the time. So I just waste time when I get a screwdriver and start practicing. And
Hey,
Yeah.
Alex, don't laugh. That's what I had was a bent
I
up
know,
snap-on
I know.
screwdriver. I still have some.
In 2010, Dave Streen worked out of my dad's shop, and he told me he could fix more with a screwdriver than I could with a dent tool. I mean, he was right. Back then, he was right.
But Felipe, there's a lot of techs that like PDR, and sometimes they get into it, and some techs they just don't like PDR. Do you think that? I mean, I always believe that body men should know Paintless Dent Repair, but some guys just don't like it. What was different for you?
well, I don't know. I love body work,
Okay.
but I love more PDR because for me that's like an art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when it's done, it's like wow, it's done.
Yeah. So you fell in love with that process.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, I got to learn how to do that.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that guy, I started practicing. It doesn't matter if I never thought I was gonna be in this business, but I'm here and I love it.
Yeah.
Now,
I
did you get
remember-
any formal training, or was it just kind of yourself trying to figure it out?
I figure it myself.
Wow.
I remember a few times that I spoke to Alex. He always told me, it's like, oh yeah, you should know my friend Felipe. He's just a natural. Like he just knows Paintless Dent Repair. Like, you know, he doesn't need no training. He just knows how to do it. And you know, I mean, it makes sense. If you thought yourself, yeah, I have a feeling like it's true. You're a natural.
And in 2010, Felipe, how long were you doing it? A year? 2 years?
When I go to your shop,
Yeah.
like I don't know, like 3-4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, when I start practicing, one of my friends, he bought me the tools
Yeah.
because he wanted me to work for him. I worked for a couple of years for him. Not for him, just I was doing one of his account. And when he bought me the tools, so in 2 months, I already was working in a body shop like myself. He told me, go to do this hair damage. It's only 2 months. So I was in 2 months, I was working by myself already.
Oh, wow. So you just got thrown in there. But I'm sure that your experience as a body man just probably, was easy for him to trust you that
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you were doing.
yeah. And he tried to impress me, and I impressed him. Oscar, Alex.
Yes.
Yeah, he tried to impress me. He was impressed of,
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
you
impressed.
doing it. That's awesome.
Oh,
How long did you do body work before you went into PDR again?
like 25 years.
Wow. And so let's take it back a little bit. So how did you get into body work?
How what?
How did you get into body work, like becoming a bodyman? How did you get into it?
To do body work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was working in a factory, and that for me that wasn't it wasn't really a job because I didn't go to school. I didn't go. Not said what is going to happen with my life.
Mm.
And then I started, and when I see the opportunity, one of my friends, my brother, took me right there to be a helper for a body man.
Mm.
And that body man, he left me right there. Said, Jesus Christ. And then I told one of my, and he's still my friend. He lives in Atlanta. He said, and I told him, can you teach me how to do body work? You don't have to pay me. I told you don't have to pay me. I just want to learn.
Wow.
So, and they was giving me $30 a week.
Oh,
Wow.
God.
What year was this, Felipe?
I was 16 years. 16 years. I don't remember what year it was, but it was 16 years when I started doing body work.
How old are you now? If you don't
I'm
mind me asking.
54.
Wow.
So
well, it had
when
to have been longer than that.
yeah, I know
You were 16 years old.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You were 16. I thought you said 16 years ago.
No, 16 years
No.
old.
Yeah.
16
Wow.
years old.
And then he's 54 now, so it was 40 years ago. So
Yeah.
it was, so like early 80s.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he was paying me $30 per week. For me, it was a lot because I told him, don't pay me nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have the opportunity to learn how to paint, but I don't like paint. I don't like detail. I don't like tin.
Yeah.
He told me, I can give you $140, what the minimum wage, but I prefer to get $30 a week because I like body work.
Got it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I get $75 when it was like a year. After a year, I started getting $75 a week.
Wow. Wow. And learning body work at that time, I'm sure it wasn't easy. It was a lot more labor work than it is now, right?
Yeah. But when you, like I said, when you're not getting paid a lot, you got to learn fast.
Well, and you fix cars. Now you just replace parts.
Yeah.
Now, when you went into Alex's dad's shop to do hail and you were still new, was it a learning curve still for you, or did you just kind of roll with it?
I'll say something. He came in and did because it was catastrophic. It destroyed roofs, windows, everything. And he fixed a rail that had dents like that. And my dad told me he was like a few months in. And I just never believed it. I was like, he's lying. Like, there's no way. And I went and checked that car like 5 times, and it was like almost perfect.
Wow.
And that's why I say I've never seen a dent guy or even talked to one that's like that. But
that's crazy. I'm curious. So what took you? So you started learning, seeing the other technician here in California. And so what made you move into Arizona?
Because one of my sister-in-law husband, he bought a shop.
Oh, I see.
Told me to come here and put a body shop.
Oh.
And we did put a body shop. But when I came here, the recession was bad. I mean, bad. Yeah, when I got here, so he didn't do too good. He sold his shop, and I got to work for somebody else for 1 year, and I started doing dents right there in that shop.
Oh, really?
That when the hailstorm came, I was doing I'm a body work right there, and he saw me with a screwdriver because I don't like to put a lot of bando. So and he saw me to doing that, and he told me, "Hey, do you like to?" He cursing me in Spanish, and then he said, "Do you like to do dents?" And he said, "Yeah, I just don't wanna put a lot of bando." I said, "Okay." So I just black them and primer and it's gone. But yeah, with a screwdriver.
Wow.
And he ordered me like 5 tools and 1 glue gun and one board like old school. It's a board like this with a black line in the middle, white side, and the other side is yellow.
Yeah, the old
So
school
he
boards.
gave me like five tools. I said, okay, start doing with that. And the cars left with. I said, oh well, it's they're I don't know. He just and one guy was there. He works in a company. I don't want to say his name, but thanks him, I'm doing dents because he told me he came one time. If he's in this program, he gonna know who I am.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. His name is Eddie, and he said, I told Eddie, he came and do I estimate for my boss, and he saw some dents by bell molding, by the bell molding. You know where the bell molding is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was dents right there. And he said, "Oh, I cannot do this." I said, "Okay." Also, I cannot do this. I said, "Okay." So I take the bell molding and I take one of the screwdriver. It's like a hook from a snap-on, and I use that one from right there. You know what I'm talking about, Danny, right? It's like a hook, a snap-on tool. So I go from right there, and then he come back to see that car, and he said, "Who did the dents?" I said, "Nobody." I told him, "Nobody." I said, "No, somebody did it." "No, if you're here, you come to do the rest of the car." I said, "No, somebody did the dents." I said, "I didn't do the dents." And he cursing me. He said, "You did it." I said, "Well, I just take it out with the hook because I'm gonna put some filler." And he told me, "Start doing dents. You'll already have it." I said,
Wow.
I said, I thought he was joking, but he was serious.
Was that you worked for Oscar, right?
That's pretty cool, I gotta say. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's true. I've seen it.
Yeah, and he comes and then he said, I told him, "Eddie, you want to teach me?" He said, "No, you don't have to. You don't need no number to teach already. You already have it." And I told him, "You want me? Can I go to? You want me to go to school, or you want to teach me?" He said, "No. When I go to school, I didn't do better than you. When he finished school, that's what he told me." And then yes.
Keep going. Sorry.
And then he come back and he told me, "What are you doing here? Start doing dance." I told Eddie, "I don't have the tools and I don't have a work. What do you want me to do dance?"
Now, how so if you didn't have the like PDR training, you didn't know how to like look at the light. I mean, not even the light at that time, like the board. Were you just going by your feel of the hand, or were you looking to like
natural reflection?
Natural reflection, or
yeah, with my reflection.
Natural.
Wow.
Yeah, but when like I said, I still doing it. When the dent is done, I still
feel it with your hand.
With my hand. If you also something, so I put my light a little farther, and then I go from there. And then if I see it, I put it more farther, because for me, in my way like I work, the more far I put the light, the more I can see.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Alex?
So you're one of those technicians that look at the natural reflection, then, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Alex always told me that you're natural. I don't know what he does mean, but he told me that you're natural.
He is. When you came here, was Eddie working with Oscar?
No. Oscar got trained, but Brian.
Okay.
Do you know what company is it, right?
I do know what company Oscar's at, but
yeah,
I don't know Brian. Brian, the owner.
Yeah, the owner of the
okay. I always thought they got you into PDR. I thought you were doing body work for them. So I learned something. That was cool.
No. So this guy, Brian, he doesn't give me the opportunity to work for him.
Oh.
And then in a year, a couple of years, he called me to work for him. So no, you know,
He was down the street at my dad's shop
Yeah.
making $1,000 a week.
it wasn't easy for me because I was doing dents, and then after 12 o'clock, I was doing body work.
Oh,
So I can get my check good.
Yeah.
So I was doing for like a year and a half. I was doing like 2 jobs.
Wow. So how long was it before you said, okay, I'm ready to do paintless dent repair full time?
Oh, when I was working in a body shop from 8 to 12 o'clock, and then to 1 o'clock. And when I go to my first account, and I still have that account, that's my first account, they keep me busy from 12 to 6 o'clock. And they give me more work. And when I go back to the body shop, I wait one day and he said, oh, I need you here. I thought, I cannot be here, Mike, because I want to start doing body work. Paintless. And he said, okay, so I said, yeah, that's it. So yes, he fired me. So, because I want to be in full time and on PDR,
Yeah.
How long did you do both? How long when you were doing body work and then PDR, like later in the afternoon, how long did you do that until you were full-time PDR?
Like a year and a half.
A year and a half?
Yeah, because I didn't have enough accounts to do all day only PDR.
Yeah.
But
do you think that helped you when doing both, or you think that you could have done PDR way before?
I should do PDR way before. But in that year and a half, that's when the year, that's the year when the hailstorm come here. I work in my garage. You're not gonna believe this, from 6 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning for 1 year. Because I wanna get speed. You're gonna get speed.
yeah.
And my mom was here in the garage with me.
Wow.
Were you working on cars or just practicing on panels?
No, it was already cars.
Cars.
I just
Wow.
want to get it done because I want to get speed, more practice, because I know more faster you are, you get
More money.
Exactly. And I was like a year and a half in the garage until 2-3 o'clock in the morning, every day.
That's hard work, Felipe.
I know.
And, I give my hats to you, man. Because that's that's stuff that you could tell to guys who want to start nowadays. Like they work in the shop, and you would tell them, okay, just practice, and they think practicing or doing dents for an hour it's enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just don't know that there's guys like you that had 2 jobs and still went home and did work and worked until like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. That's dedication.
Exactly.
That is hard work. And nowadays, you can't teach that.
No.
And I think that's one thing with PDR is, and I try to explain this to the younger guys, when you're learning PDR, you need to be all in. You need to be all in. You need to practice. You need to want it, put the extra hours in to try to figure it out and pick up your speed, like he said. You literally have to be dedicated to it and really want it. Even if you're working another job, when you leave that job, head down, couple hours on your way. It's the only way you're really going to learn it, because you can't part-time learn this.
No. You can't.
Yeah.
That way. Okay, Alex.
Oh. When I was learning this, and he same time, and he's so much better than me. And he'd ask my dad would tell me this. He would ask him like, "What, about my son?" Because there's stuff I couldn't fix that he does. And Felipe was right on this. I was 21, 20 years old, 19 when I was doing it, and he'd just go, "Alex doesn't want to work hard," and I didn't want to work hard. You know what I mean? I'd go to work for 4 hours in the beginning of my career, 5, 6, 8.
Alex,
you can't do this like that.
Remember when I told you, why do you have that light? Remember when I told you that?
When I bought the new ultralight, when LED lights, and he was using the fog.
Yeah, and you told your dad, Felipe doesn't like my light. But that light looked like a homemade. But you were working with that light.
What? Oh, you're talking about my Dent King light.
Yeah, one light was like it looked like you did it at your house.
That was a King light.
Yeah.
That was like the first gen King.
So Felipe, so you got fired from the body shop, and now you were full-time a PDR tech.
Yes.
And by then you already had a wholesale account, or was it a body shop, or it was a
I was
dealership?
one wholesale dealership, and then by there it was on all referrals. That's all I have, all referrals.
Really?
And there, like this guy, he has friends. They go there to see their cars, and they have more dealerships. And hey, can you come to my shop? I say, yeah, sure. Can you come to my shop? Yeah, okay, sure. And obviously, when you go to the shop, well, that's me. When I go to the shop, anywhere, I told people when I go to do a job, I don't go to do a job. I go to do a customer. So I gotta make my best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after that, they refer this, they refer to you, and and I'm here, still here. But I never advertising, and it's all referrals. Maybe it's lucky, I don't know.
You still, like, for the last 10 years, your whole career, you still, like, all your places you service, you don't lose. Have you ever lost a store?
No.
I don't think he's got, for the last 10 years, it's all the same stores. They just keep using it.
Yeah, the last 10 years, the same stores.
Wow.
See, that says something. You know, for one, hard work.
Absolutely.
For two, taking care of the customer and getting to know everybody at the accounts. You know what I mean? Physically dealing with them and building those relationships. And he's realized he's old school. You know what I mean? He's figured that out.
But still, right now, well, a lot of people told me you're not in that position, but I love this job. I work on Sunday sometimes too, because I mean, I know the money is extra, but I love my job. I love it.
It's fun.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, one guy came to me last time, like a week ago. He said, "You know what, my friend? I'm enjoying watching you work." I said, "Why? Because you enjoy your work. You enjoy your job." I said, "Of course, but I ate from here." And he said, "Yeah, but you really enjoy it." I said, "Of course, I don't know. And I really enjoy it. Like I said, I work on Sundays or Saturdays because I got a customer service that's what I do my customers. If I don't go, they're gonna say, okay, I need a car done. I said, okay. But I still work like when I start.
You don't have a bunch of tools either, huh? Like still.
I have a bunch of tools, but not like you, Alex. He bought all the fantasy tools, Alex.
What
he's
are
talking
your
about the Stanliner tools? I've been trying to get him into the
all that
Stanliner
fancy
tools.
stuff? You don't need that fancy stuff to fix cars.
He did.
See,
He
me and
told me
Felipe
that.
are on the same page. We got this.
We were on the lot. He saw, like, I was showing him all my new tools, like Stanliner tools. This is like 5 years ago. And he's like, Alex, you don't need this. He pulls out a Craftsman hammer from Sears because he used to still get it from Sears back then. And a root beer tap down and an ultra soft tip tap down and a double bend. He's like, this is all you need.
I use one hammer. The hammer Alex is talking about, that's the only hammer I use.
Yeah. It's the best hammer, in my opinion.
So you're more of a tap down guy than like a blending guy.
That's all I use every day.
Yeah.
See, that's all I use every day.
Wow.
All the time.
He blends, Manny. He blends with the Craftsman hammer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he has other blending hammers, but
yeah,
I don't know if he uses them.
What are your if you look in your truck and you go to fix a car, what is usually your go-to tool? Like if you're like, okay, I'm grabbing this one, we know, you get to a point where the 5 tools that you could probably fix most of the cars with. What is your tool that you're grabbing?
Most of the tools I use is the craft tools. It's like 5 or 6 hooks. That's the hooks I use like every day.
Dent craft?
Yeah, Dent craft.
Is it the black handled ones?
Black handled ones.
Yeah, see.
They're like 4 or 6. I think like 6 hooks of them.
Yeah.
That for me, that's very, very handy. Like that's the most I use.
You like Ultra Dent tools a lot too, though.
I have a lot of Ultra Dent tools, Alex. They're brand new. I don't. I didn't use them.
I know you use the double bend.
I know. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't say there. I don't need the tools, but
Yeah.
I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Like Ali said, buy this. I want to buy it, but if I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. How are you with glue pulling? How was, because I know you're a body man, so you know how to push, you know how to tap down. But so when you were introduced to glue pulling, how was that? Or how is the glue pulling for you now?
Glue pulling. Personally, I don't like glue pulling. I don't like glue pulling at all.
I don't think nobody likes glue pulling.
Because when the glue pull doesn't work good, I got so pissed.
Yeah.
I got so pissed.
Yeah.
A glue pull helps to abandon the job, but you gotta finish it with the tools. You know what? I told you. Well, I went to, because when I go get tools from Ultra, I go to the store, and I know I talked to the owner, and he said one of the machine Alex has. He told me this machine I sold it. He said, but I don't recommend you to buy it. I said, why? Because you still gotta push it with the tools. That's what he said.
You talking about the hot box?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I sold. I don't have it anymore. I sold it.
Yeah. The owner told me that. He said if he's selling me that. I mean, he told me that because maybe he's not selling it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like glue pull, but not a lot.
What kind of glue are you using?
I'm use the orange one, the hot glue.
Okay.
Hogs.
Hot glue.
You use the one with the orange and black in it.
The orange and black, yeah, the orange and black. Yeah. The black is good for when it's too hot. It works.
Okay.
That's what I use.
Hog glue. It's hog glue. I'm pretty sure.
But I think that's part of you just, your background of being a bodyman, like a true craftsman, that you want to just get behind that dent.
Yeah.
Like glue pulling is a waste of time. Get behind that dent.
Yeah.
Felipe, what do you think of pink glue? What do you think of pink glue?
Pink glue, Manny. It's pink.
Me and Felipe can be friends.
You know what's funny is that I went last week. There was a dent meetup.
Oh, at Mike's place.
At Mike Toledo's place, Dent Time Shop. And, Stanliner brought their tools, and the Anson men came in. So the Anson van, if you guys have seen it, all kinds of tools, right? And they have, tabs, slide hammers, and they have glue. And I said, it was with Vince, and I was like, Vince, where's the pink glue? He says, Manny, I actually don't think I have pink glue. So he went in there, he pulled out a box, and there was only one bag of pink glue. And it was funny because I ended up taking that one.
Hopefully it's the last package of pink glue ever made.
But it was funny because he didn't even think of bringing some because he didn't think no one was going to buy it. But for me here, that pink glue just works great.
But you use it on the heat or when it's cold?
So I have a shop, and then so inside the shop it's always 70. It's usually a temperature. But I don't know what it is. It's just it works really well for me. What I love about it is just that I guess in the temperature that I have here is just it dries fast, and all I have to do is just put it on, grab my slide hammer, and boom, it's ready. Because sometimes if you let it dry too much and you pull out that thing, then you have a whole a whole dent outwards that you have to tap down. Yeah. With the pink glue, I feel that the timing for me is just perfect, where it's just like enough for me, just a couple tap down, and it's done. Sometimes, it's to the point where it's just like, it's perfect. It's a little blending. And
that's because it's barely pulling the metal. So, it just barely pulls it just enough
but it works really good for me,
It's user friendly.
I use the pink one, and when I was using the alcohol, it was like gum, like gum. It was like
Oh, really?
because I think the temperature is very important.
We're in Arizona too. You guys have real alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Sometimes you burn yourself on the car.
So what is your daily routine like? Is it just like wholesales? Do you do a lot of like body shops? Is it just retail? Like
I don't have too many body shops because they want everything perfect and they don't really want to pay. But I have like 4 or 5 body shops. But I have in the morning from 9 to 4:30 I do my dealerships, and after 4:30 I do my retails.
Okay.
So I got home like every day 7:30, sometimes 8 o'clock, because I do my retails.
oh, I see.
Because right there makes more right there than the whole day.
Yeah.
True.
And you get your retails all pretty much from word of mouth, right?
Yeah.
Now, being a old school body man, being a dent technician, what is the kind of dents that you just love to do? Like you just love to work on those things. Where if they called you and they told you they have that kind of job that you almost would go do it for free. Like what is that job for you that you just? I know you said that you just love everything about Paintless Dent Repair and what you do, but what is that one job or that one car that you just have so much fun doing it?
Well, I did a Maserati. I got fun, but I got frustrated in that car. It was very hard. It was very hard.
What's your favorite dent to fix? Body line dent, rail?
My favorite dent to fix, I like when they're on the body lines, because when they're done, I feel so proud of myself. Because I know that the dents on the body lines, nobody like that dents.
Yeah.
I don't like either, but I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's funny here. I get clients that come in and say, I don't think you could fix this dent because it's not a body line. I've been told you can't fix body lines dents. Like what?
Yep.
You know, I don't know if you get that, but yeah, you're right. I mean, body lines are hard, but they're a challenge. But getting them done is kind of like a good feeling.
How about yours? Like, go ahead, Alex.
No, I'm good.
If you had to pick one dent, Manny, what would it be? If you picked one dent right now, you're like, I'm gonna get this in. We're gonna take care of it, and I just enjoy it.
I think I was telling this to someone today. I think it's probably because I just doing so much, but somehow I enjoy doing Tesla dents.
They're not bad. They're not after you figure it out.
Yeah, like I think it's because, like I said, like I just do them often. I enjoy Tesla. Like the metal, I think it's very malleable, and it works with you. The texture, the paint is good for glue pulling. The texture, it has good texture. Like you could, finesse any dent. Yeah, I think Tesla's. It's probably like a car that I enjoy, and BMWs too. At least the old school stuff, none of the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new BMW metal, it's something else.
How about you, Alex?
I don't know.
Toyota.
Probably. I like Toyotas.
Of course you do.
I like the body line dents. Just or what car?
Just period. Yeah. If you looked at one car,
a BMW or Mercedes, I think the metal is just so much better.
Yeah.
Now, Felipe, I have. Sorry, Alex. Go ahead. But I do have a question for Felipe because I've been watching, with my background, I've worked in the body shop, and I saw so many times technicians working with the dollies and the hammer, just finessing metal, and I always saw that as like, I love that process, but I feel that in Paintless Dent Repair, it's a different process of repairing dents, but I do have some dents that I feel that you have to combine that dolly process to fix a dent. Now, I don't have a bodyman background like where I've repaired dents, like you have, but for someone like you that repairs dents with using a dolly on the back when you were a full-time bodyman, and now being a PDR, how often do you ever do that where you fix dents using a dolly on the back with if you were a bodyman at the shop?
To be honest, I use the dolly like once a day, at least once a day, because I do a lot of trucks, and like on the fenders, on the bedsides, I put the dolly first. Just I put pressure, and with the hammer, I just put all the crown down, just to hold myself, because it's very hard. But I use the dolly.
I've seen you finish a dent with a dolly and a hammer. Like
I have
very good at it.
a picture on my phone. You want me to show you? I just do it with the hammer and the dolly.
Wow, really?
So
because the dolly, it helps
the pressure.
But it also allows the metal to find its way back. I feel that just by moving that pressure around, so I see how that works. I've never, done it so much, but I feel that that's something that it's important, it's key, but I just don't do it because I don't have a bodyman background, but you do.
Yeah, especially like a BB gun. The BB gun is hard to do it with the tools, but if you can put a dolly in the back and you just hit it just in the center, you can make it flat
real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
I use the raised snake, rounded snake stand liners, or a killer whale tail, and I use the plastic Craftsman hammer for those dents, and I do this pretty much same thing. I don't have a dolly set, but I do that. Like my brother was watching me doing it.
Now, does it matter what kind of dolly it is? Like, does it matter like the type of metal that the dolly is, or could it just be like any dolly style?
Well, there is like two, three, four dollies. All you gotta do, some dollies are round, some dollies are flat. You gotta follow the line of the what you need to do. Like on fenders, the fender on the edge of the fenders, that edge is hard to do. What I do, I just put the dolly like right there, and I start making the line. But not like I said, you don't have to hammer. You don't have to hammer your hammer on the dolly, because if you hit the metal on the dolly with the hammer, you're gonna miss it up.
Yeah, you're gonna stretch the metal.
Exactly. You have to know where you're gonna hammer it, but never straight to the dolly. Never.
You're usually around it.
Yes.
You never hit right on the dolly, because what the dolly is doing is it's going to stretch that metal out and make it more material there than it was, because you're thinning that metal.
Oh.
So if you're beating right on it, it's going to thin that metal and give you more material there than you need, and that's what's going to give you that oil can effect.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're going to beat.
Oh, I see.
Around or next to that dolly.
Like on body lines and fenders, when they're very bad, what I do, I take the liner out and I just hammer it from the back. Hammer, all the line with the hammer I'm talking about. Just hammer it right there until it's getting better, and then with the sticks. And that comes very easy. If you know how to hammer it out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You definitely have to know how to blend from the backside and push that metal back out.
Yeah, and you gotta know what kind of metal is, because that hammer has rigid rubber and the other one is soft.
Right.
Yes, that's different.
So you have to know your type of metal.
Yeah.
Do you do that on aluminum as well?
Aluminum, not really, but aluminum, wow. I use one hammer and I put something rigid in the back around, but not too hard because it cracks easy. Wow, if you put the dolly. But it's easier on the aluminum when it's very sharp. If you hammer it you put the dolly, it's easier.
Now, do you guys, with it being so hot there, do you use much heat? Like a
None.
torch or a heat gun?
Do you, man? Felipe, do you?
I don't use too much heat.
Just in the wintertime.
Well, I mean, you guys are in Arizona. Who needs more heat in Arizona?
We don't need heat.
Hey, I will say this. I don't use heat during like this time for a while, for a long time. And then every time it starts cooling off, I will just be in my groove. And all of a sudden, one might get away from me in wholesale. Like, and then it's heat gun from then on. You know what I mean?
So
But
three of you guys are PDRs, right? I'm gonna make a question for you guys because
I don't know about Alex. He just
yeah. When
go ahead, Felipe.
Yeah, when this guy told me to start doing dents, he told me one thing, and I don't agree with that. He said, you know what? When you start doing dents, you never scared to push it out a lot. I never agree with that. Never agree with that.
Are you saying over push it?
Exactly. He said, don't be scared to push it, to over push a lot because you're gonna hammer it back. I don't agree with that. That's personal me.
Well, I think
explain why.
Why?
I want to see your reasons of why
not
don't agree with that.
On my experience in body work, if you hammer out, you want to hammer back. If you hammer out, you hammer back. So you're gonna make it like oil can. You know what I mean? If I need to push more, I push more. If I need to push more, I push more. Because for me, it's no reason to push it a lot and then hammer it back. It makes no sense for me. That's the way it works.
It's the same thing as like if I'm gonna power PDR box something, I'm not putting a soft tip on it whatsoever. It's gonna be metal, and I'll be slow because if I do a soft tip, I feel like it overstretches it more, and then you'll always have a hump.
My feeling with that whole thing is what's our end goal? Natural reflection, natural orange peel feel, right?
Yeah.
The less agitation you're doing to that panel and metal, the better. So if you can just push cleanly and get it up without knocking down and making a whole lot of agitation in that orange peel, I think it's a better repair. How about you, Manny?
No, I mean, I agree with what Felipe is saying. Why keep pushing more when you know that you have to push it back down? It makes no sense, right? I'm really enjoying hearing his way of fixing dents with his bodyman experience. Because I always tell, when I get texts, bodymans posting, commenting on TikTok, for example, I always show respect back. Everything that I know how to do is from bodymans. Watching bodymans, I feel that the difference between us and bodyman is that we don't work with the hand, we work with the light. We're getting paint to save that original paint, But a lot of what we're doing, it's same thing as the body man, we're just not grinding. So, I'm always giving that respect back, and I'm really enjoying hearing Felipe, talk about how he repairs dents with a little bit of bodyman style, like the whole dolly situation, the fact that you're not over pushing a dent, why? You're going to warp this metal. Just, push if you need to push, but don't over push just because, for example, my technician, Sergey, his thing was to, push, bring all that metal. And even if he create all these high spots, it's okay, no big deal, because he could still sit there and tap it all back down. But to me, it was just why do you want to do that? It was the same thing. It's just move the metal enough to where you don't have to create all that extra work for you, and just set it in place and just keep moving, finish up that dent. Stop, like the whole stent liner mission, right? Like work smarter, not harder, and I think that some technicians don't see that. They just work harder because that's just their way of working.
Well, I think some of it is
Does that make sense?
body guys
Yes.
understand how metal works, right? He understands, okay, there's a crown here that we need to get down and relieve this pressure, right? Not all dent guys think of a dent that way. Because I've had guys come in and work with me for the dent. I'm like, you're not going to beat that crown down, or you're not going to glue pull that a little bit to relieve the tension to get that crown. They would just beat the crown all the way down and then push the dent out. And I'm like, they're not understanding how that metal works. And I think
Right.
body guys, I have Mikey that was a 16-year auto body tech that works for me. He understands metal even better than I do. I've got a pretty good grasp, but I think Felipe has a little more concept of how that metal's the tension's being released.
Right.
So I think it's an edge for guys like him that have come from bodywork to PDR because they understand that part.
Right. So Felipe, if you have let's say a hard dent on a fender, has a big crown on the top, pushed in on the body line, what do you tackle first? Do you tackle that crown first, or you just get the dent out? Like what would be your approach to something like that? I know you can't visualize it, but
Yeah, but depends where is the dent at. If you're talking about dent just in the middle.
Yeah, let's say in the middle with the big crown.
Okay, if it's like this, if it's like in the middle, I
Have
never.
a door.
Yeah, personally, I never hit the crown first. Never.
Right.
Because it's not gonna come out for me.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're gonna take a little bit of tension of the dent. So
Right.
take a little bit of tension on the dent, and then hammer it, and then tension, and then hammer it, tension, hammer it. When the crown is gone, that's when I start using my tools.
Mm-hmm.
When I see more tension, and then I can start. But obviously, I put my hand first because that's my guide all the time. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm more body man than guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before you're done seeing it with the light that is done, you're feeling it too.
Yeah, I feel it first, and I feel something, and then I put the light different angle or more farther, and then when the time is done. Huh?
And I was gonna say that's something that I do take from learning, from a lot of body mans is using the hand. Sometimes I'm working a crown or a dent, and I just keep feeling it, and then just keep working it, feeling it, and working. I that's something that I do. I did carry on from body techs.
Yeah, and sometimes it happened to me. I can feel the crown if I put the light, but I don't see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what I do, I put the light. If I feel it like this, I put the light in the top.
Right.
And then I go like this, and then you see the crown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneaky little things. They always are sneaking.
Manny, when he see my
What
land,
what kind of light do you use, Felipe?
I bought it. I used the one with six
Ultra.
six strips. I did it from
Ultra, I think it is.
no, I give it to Alex, the Ultra one. But I get it from what's the name? Then
Eliminate?
Eliminate Dents. Yeah, I get it from right there. I used to use the big one from Ultra with the 1 bar. That one for me works perfect in big dents, but it's a lot of light. It's a lot of light.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right now I don't need glasses, and I don't want. I mean,
When he'd see my line
That's
board,
awesome.
Manny, when he'd see my line board, he'd be like, "That's why you have glasses."
Yeah.
much light. I mean, it's a good light. It's a good light. But I mean, one guy in California, I went to the store, and he came from Texas. He was doing always hell like 35 years. That's what he told me. And I showed one of the big dents I did. And he said, "What do you use to do this dent? I mean, the tools, but one light, this light." And he took one of that light because he said, "I never saw somebody did this kind of dents, never, because that's all they do, hail damage. That's all they do."
Yeah. A lot of hell guys can't do.
No, and they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They said we are crazy because we do big dents. And personally, I like heel damage, but I don't really like heel damage, especially
I don't.
on rails or by the bell molding. I don't like that dents.
I'd rather do big dents.
I have a question in regards to like crowns. So when I have a crown, I'll use a hammer, right? But I have gotten into situations where I have sharp crowns, and a few people have advised me to maybe get like a slapper to tap those crowns down with a slapper. Do you use something similar like that, or are you just with your hammer? Just with the hammer.
Yeah, if the crown is too sharp, I don't hammer like straight, because when it's too sharp, if you hammer it, it doesn't. The sharp thing, it doesn't go in. It goes the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you fix something like that? I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I take a little pressure out, and I have one of the hammers. I'm a rubber hammer, and I put it in the back, and I hammer the crown to take the sharp part out.
Like using like a dolly style,
Yeah, exactly.
But a rubber.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, because if I use the dolly, as soon as I hit it, the paint is gonna break, because the crown is too sharp.
Right.
It's like when using a glue. When you're using
Will you do like with a soft tip, the rubber soft tip? Will you put that behind it and then use your hammer to do that same thing?
Yeah. But the hammer I use to hammer it is the hard part of the hammer.
The yellow part.
The yellow one.
Yeah.
But because if you use the rubber, it's not gonna do nothing. It's gonna just
Yeah.
It's gonna flat.
What tip would you, knowing your experience, and I'm sure that you've seen so many dent technicians, work, what is something that you as a bodyman background would give advice to PDR techs to maybe try a little bit more of?
I don't know, because like I said, I do dents, but I use my body tools a lot. Even if I'm doing dents, I have the tools. I do a lot of body work, body tools. I have it on my van but that's, I don't know. Maybe it's not the best idea, but that's what I do, especially on big dents. I was telling Alex, sometimes I use the snap-on rebars and aluminum because they're very, very hard.
So when I started getting into big dents, Felipe, well, the advice you had for me always was always know where to start the dent. If I don't start that dent right, it's over. Yeah, like I'll ruin that dent.
It's like everything. If you push on the wrong place, you're gonna finish on the wrong place.
Yeah.
But what I told Alex, I always told him this, and I don't know if I'm right, but you know which one are the best tools?
What was that?
The brain.
You know what's your best tools for everybody?
Hands.
Exactly, their hands. What's the best tool you can have?
I don't know. I mean, on some of these big dents, in that same instance, you have to use your brain to figure out how to attack or where to start. Do you know what I mean? You have to. I kind of map my big dents out, right? I kind of like, okay, well, if I start here, it's going to relieve the pressure, but then we're going to go over here, relieve this pressure, and knock the crown. So you have to map those dents out. You can't just go in, just like you said, because you're going to make one bad push.
Yeah. That's what he'd always tell me. He'd be like, Alex, I because of my body work, I know how to start that dent and how to work it, and that's why he was so fast. I mean, I don't know, like if he did the competition, Manny, I think he'd place hands down first time.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I mean? So
Felipe, you're coming to MTE?
Where?
In Vegas.
The MT were the competition.
No, I'm too old.
You gotta compete.
Come on.
And beat Manny. You gotta beat Manny for me.
I'm too old for that. You know what? My friend Oscar, he told me when I started doing dance, when he asked me, "How old are you?" I told him 40. He said, "Oh, you're too old to do dance." It was, and I
look
said,
at you now.
I know.
How old are you?
54.
14 years.
Catching up.
So what is the future like for you for the next 5 years, Felipe? What do you see yourself?
Yeah, I told Alex just working and working 5 more years, and after 5 years, I don't know. I'm gonna think about something else.
Are you
Maybe,
ever thinking about maybe just opening up a shop or?
maybe start teaching people, or you know,
I think you'd be really good at that.
start teaching kids, or But I try to teach to my friends because they're very honest and they're very you know, but they come like twice. Nah, it's too boring.
It's too hard. People
Yeah,
see how hard it is once they start.
too boring. It's too much patience. And they said, and I told them straight, this job is good if you like the job. Forget about the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
The money comes by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I start doing this, I never think of the money.
Yeah.
I like my job.
Yeah.
If you
'Cause
like
there's
it, the money comes by itself.
Yeah.
And some days you're not going to make a damn thing, and other days
Yeah.
you're going to pick it back up. So
Yeah. Yeah. What would be your one advice to the PDR community from Felipe?
I don't understand the question.
What is there an advice that you have, word of wisdom from Felipe to the PDR community? Is there something that
Felipe, my brother's learning, and I'm teaching my brother.
Mm-hmm. If I want to teach
I'm teaching my brother right now. Yeah.
Huh?
What's the best advice you'd give my brother?
the best
Since
advice,
he's starting out. Yeah, he's starting out.
first, just you have to ask him, do you like this?
Mm.
Because that's what I told my daughters. If you're gonna start something, you gotta be finish it.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna finish, don't start.
Yeah.
Don't start.
You have to know why you're doing it. You have to like it.
Exactly. Because I told him that's one of the things you're gonna do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If you like it, be focused and constant, and you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
I told him,
Absolutely.
forget about the money. The money is gonna come by itself, little by little, little
Yeah.
by little, little by little.
Absolutely.
well, Felipe, I really appreciate you coming on. I love hearing the older guys that are still in
Yeah,
it and have
seriously.
old school
It's a good show.
old techniques. I appreciate it.
Well, it
I
was
think-
an experience he did here. I never been here, and this.
Look at that. It's the first one for him. We got it.
Yeah. You did. It's a good show.
Yeah, I like.
A lot of knowledge.
No, well, thank you very much for inviting me. Now a lot of people they're gonna ask for Felipe because nobody knows me.
Hey,
I tell a lot of people about you though. I say he's the best.
Yeah, your dad here will send me customers.
Yep. You still go down there, don't you?
Yeah,
Where he's working?
Yeah, I still go there.
Maybe one day you could train Alex how to fix dents.
Hey, you know.
I'm just kidding, Felipe.
Before he did train me. He trained me a lot, but with a lot of knowledge.
Felipe, what do you say when you see like really bad dents that someone else fix? Alex again. Just kidding, Felipe. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your journey on the PDR industry. And it's awesome to hear your background from a bodyman, to what you're doing now. And I have a lot of respect for you because
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
First of because just hearing how you're so passionate about what you do, I love that about you, because there's a lot of guys that love what they do because of the money that they make.
Yeah, exactly.
And just hearing you talk about how much you love it just because of the craftsmanship of what's in it. It's just like, it's awesome. So keep it up, keep doing what you're doing. And we wish you all the best. And hopefully one day you get your shop and you start training guys, because we need guys like you to train generations to come, because it's not just about knowing how to push a dent. It's the scene, it's the mentality, it's the pressure, the bodyman experience. There's just so much knowledge in you that I think that it's important pass it on to the next generation. So hopefully one day we see Felipe's PDR training somewhere. You know,
I wish, I hope.
and hopefully we see you at MTE one of these days, either in Vegas. Vegas is happening September 15, and then we Mobile Tech Expo MTE in Orlando too is happening in January. But if you can make it to Vegas, that would be great. If anyone else is planning on going, we'll see you there. But yeah, we'd love to get to meet you at MTE.
Yeah, probably this year I'm going for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And
thank you.
Yeah, whenever you can, try to teach Alex how to fix a dent.
Hey, he did teach me not to use pink glue.
I give Alex a hard time.
I give him a lot of ideas, Alex, when I know him. I give him a lot of ideas, Alex.
That's good.
Yeah. He's going to teach me how to beat you in September. So
there you go.
He's a good guy, Alex. He's a good guy.
She's okay.
Well, Felipe, thank you again. And you did
Felipe.
a great job.
Thank you. Thank you, three of you guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Felipe. Take care.
see you, Felipe.
That was
That's so
great.
cool, man.
I love the
He's
old
super
school, old school mentality, body guy, figuring out how metal works.
You know, so he didn't tell you guys.
He gone.
Now I want to know. He said he didn't
He's
tell you
gone.
guys.
He's gone. So it was good, man.
Yeah,
was good.
he's dude. I like so many people don't know about him.
Yeah.
He's
He's one of those hidden gems.
crazy.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah,
I'm glad you could join us.
yeah. it's
Bring
fun.
your buddy on. You
It was
know,
fun. It was a good show.
I love the old school guys like that. Just knowing how metal works and mapping out the repairs and getting them fixed. So, Manny, thanks for coming on. I know you're still watching.
See you, Manny.
Alex, thank you. Everybody, thanks for joining us. See you next week. Wash your damn hands. Hold on. Is Manny back? Are you back?
Listen, I know Alex is your best.
You just froze up. You look like Cinderella up there.
You got booted.
Just kidding. Love you guys,
It's
man.
that pink glue.
Manny, have a great
Hey man, what were
evening.
you guys saying? He didn't say what.
Oh no, that I was going to share with you guys that I spoke to him yesterday, right, to walk him through how to get into the show.
Yeah.
But long story short, he used to work at one of the body shops that I used to work with, and he trained some of the bodymen that I used to work with. And
Told me
this
that.
shop, it's like if you ever work for this name shop, it's just like you were a good tech, and it's just so crazy how big this world could be, but
That's
how
cool.
how small it could also
he
be.
called
you know,
me
so
this-
it
he
was
called
crazy
me.
to hear that story.
He called me this afternoon and immediately he's like, "This is a small world." I trained
Yeah.
some of his friends that he's.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"That's crazy."
That's
Yeah.
funny. That's
Yeah,
funny.
awesome. But great,
Adios, guys.
great show, guys. Thank you so much for another awesome show.
You
Have a
guys
good one.
keep your hands washed, keep the smoke out of your lungs, and have a great night. Keep it real. See you guys later. Thank you.
See ya.
See you guys.